All right, good morning, everyone. Are we ready to get started? Ms. Champion, can you hear me?
Good morning, Judge. Yes,
Good
I can.
morning, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, have all defense attorneys, are the defense attorneys at courtroom two? I see somebody.
We have all three defense attorneys here, Your Honor.
Okay, good morning. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. This is the state all-purpose calendar in the state court of Fulton County, Georgia. I'm Judge Melanie Williams, and today is August 29th of 2024. At this calendar, we'll address a variety of matters, including taking pleas or arraigning cases and addressing or readdressing fine matters. All defendants who are present, please listen. You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. You also have a right to counsel today. And as you can see, I'm conducting this hearing over the internet. That means it's being recorded and live streamed. When I ask if you understand your rights, that is what I am referring to. All right, who do we have first?
We have position 26 and 27, Mr. Michael Sims in courtroom two.
Okay. Oh, I have that there's a conflict. His attorney is on trial on Superior Court, so we're gonna have to reset that. He's position 26?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, is that correct that his attorney has a conflict?
Yes, Your Honor, his attorney on record is Carrington Matthews.
Okay. All right, were you aware of that, Ms. Kim?
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna reset.
Your
Go ahead.
Honor, for misdemeanor cases, he wants to plead not guilty, so we will file a waiver of other arraignments.
Can I speak? I wanna go to.
Okay, please, I'm
I
sorry,
want
go
a
ahead.
speedy trial. I want a speedy trial. Carrington Matthews no longer represent me. I want a speedy trial.
Your Honor,
Okay,
actually, there are two cases. One, 24 PI 004671. That is represented by attorney PD Kazoli, and then 23 CP 220198. It is represented by attorney Shao Walter. So they do have a little bit of changes of attorneys.
okay. All right, so we're gonna the waiver of arraignment will get filed for these cases and he'll be reset jail jury. Okay.
We're gonna take that vote. Next, Your Honor, we're gonna go to position number 13, Mr. Dante Jones.
Okay. Mr. Jones, good morning. Your case. Oh, shoot, that's not it. Okay, Mr. Jones, your case is 24 CR 005787Y. You're charged with theft by shoplifting. You understand your rights today? All right, the announcement I have is negotiated plea. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Falk, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened on, let's see. Looks like this incident occurred August 16th of 2024. Defendant entered the Kroger at 590 Cascade Avenue, took ground beef, butter, sausage, and other items, soap, with a value of $150 belonging to Kroger, and was arrested. The state's recommendation on this case is 12 months served, 45 days, credit for time served, 14 days, August 16th, 2024 to today. Ballots probated, stay away from the Kroger at 590 Cascade Avenue, an anti-theft course, and 40 hours of community service. The state would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of this plea. That's all from the state.
Are you so stipulate, Mr. White?
Yes, Judge, we stipulate.
All right, Mr. Jones, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today will be truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, Your Honor.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange?
No, Your Honor.
And you understand you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand the requirements, including community service, and you can't go back to that Kroger, and you're also gonna have to take a course?
Yes, Sean. I wanted to ask you, is any way possible
I can get 30 days instead of 45 days.
Your attorney, would you like to speak to your attorney again?
I've already spoken with the judge and
All right.
told
So
him.
that's not gonna change. Do you still want to take this plea, Mr. Jones?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. As to the charge of theft by shoplifting, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything additional from state or defense?
Your Honor, we just asked for a waiver of probation fees and asked his probation go non-reporting once he completes all of his requirements.
I'll waive 2 months of fees. After that, if he's completed the requirements, it can go non-reported.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, we go to position number 12, Mr. Hernandez.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, your case is 24 CR 0057778J. You're charged with theft by shoplifting. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, and the announcement I have for this is negotiated plea as well.
That's correct, Judge.
All right, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation on Horatio Hernandez is 12 months, served 26 days, credit for time served 13 days. We're also asking that the defendant stay away from the target located at 5600 Roswell Road, that he take an anti-theft course, and he have 40 hours of community service. This incident happened on April 26th of 2024. The defendant entered the target at that location and then took a number of items, 2 Ember mugs, which are temperature controlled mugs with a value of $262, and then left through all points of exit without paying for those items. We would ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and identification for the purposes of the plea, and that is all for the state.
All right, you so stipulate, Mr. White?
You, Judge.
All right, I'm gonna ask you some questions, Mr. Hernandez. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, is that a yes?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Did anyone force you to take a plea?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange?
No.
And you understand you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes.
And do you fully understand the requirements of the sentence, including community service, the course, and not going back to the target?
Yes.
As to the charge of theft by shoplifting, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything additional?
Nothing
All right.
from Judge.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
Thank you.
Don't worry.
Next, we go to position number 19, Mr. Masaria.
All right. All right, good afternoon. Your case is 24 CR 004970C. You're charged with loitering and prowling. You understand your rights?
Yes, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. And the announcement I have for this is negotiated plea as well.
That's correct, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Falk?
Excuse me. The state's recommendation on Mr. Mazaria's case is 12 months served 64 days. Credit for time served 32 days. That's going to be from July 29th, 2024 until today. We're also asking for stay away from the Morningside Atlanta Apartments located at 1845 Piedmont Road Northeast in Atlanta, and no further contact with Arnold Inthavanska. And I apologize if I have butchered that name. This incident happened July 20th of 2024. The defendant was in the parking lot of that location. He was wearing a hoodie and a red t-shirt with a mask over his face and was seen entering and walking around a hallway leading to the apartment's building to exit. He was also lurking in the parking garage, standing at the rear trunk of a vehicle, sorting through mail and paperwork. This all happened at about 5:22 in the morning. He was then placed under arrest. We have
That's good.
spoken to Mr. Oh, excuse me.
That's it. I got it. Anything additional you can tell me, Ms. Falk?
Just that we would like to sound for the victim, Mr. Arnold Inthavigonska, and we would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea.
I didn't mean to mess you. I didn't mean to mess you up there, Ms. Falk.
Not a problem.
Is the victim in this case present? Mr. I'm sorry. That gentleman. I don't see that name. Okay, seeing none. Mr. White, did you so stipulate?
We did, Judge.
All right. Please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today be true to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange?
No, ma'am.
And you understand you're giving up your right to trial by judge or trial by jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And you further understand you'll have no other court dates?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with Mr. White's representation?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand the requirements? You can't have any contact with your victim in this case, and you need to stay away from the address on Piedmont Road?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as to the charges previously listed, loitering and prowling, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything additional?
No, ma'am.
Nothing from this bench, Judge.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
Your Honor, we can go to South Annex, that is position number 36, Mr. Dontavius Stone.
Okay. I'm sorry, 40 what? We don't have a 46.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't sure what number I heard.
36,
36. That's the 40, okay.
and that is Mr. Dennis Murphy's client.
All right, Mr. Murphy is on the line, so that's
Yeah,
good.
yes, Judge. He should be 36, Judge. I needed to, Ms. Falk had sent me the recommendation. I was hoping to get it on a breakout room with Mr. Stone.
All right, is it possible for us to put South Annex in a breakout with Mr. Murphy? Thank you. Ms. Strong, will you put Mr. Murphy in the breakout? Oh,
I did.
okay, thank you.
Okay, I was waiting for the thing to cue me.
We can go to position number 33 and 34, Mr. Eric Smith. Yeah.
Okay, and I don't think Mr. Murphy, did you get the invite?
No.
Yeah.
One moment.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Smith, you have two cases. One is a simple FTA. The other is 24 CR 004026A, which you're charged with theft by conversion. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the announcement I have is negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor. He
All
pleads
right.
guilty. He would like to ask for waiver of probation fees. He doesn't have a job right now.
All right, we'll see. We'll take that under consideration, Ms. Kim. Ms. Desiano, please proceed.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
This incident happened on June 20th, 2024. Officers responded to the Quick Trip on 10th Street in reference to a stolen vehicle. The officer had received a stolen vehicle hit when he did the tag reader on a 1994 Chevrolet van. The defendant was seen on surveillance exiting the vehicle and entering the gas station. The officers confronted the defendant inside the gas station. He told the officers that the truck was owned. He was returning the vehicle to the owner later that day. The owner of the vehicle is JHS Enterprises LLC. He was convinced that this was a big misunderstanding and asked that the officer reach out to the business. The officer did speak to a representative of the business and was told that the vehicle was supposed to be returned on June 15th, but it was never returned. There were multiple attempts made to contact the defendant. They were all unsuccessful, and the defendant eventually blocked their numbers. And that's when the vehicle was reported stolen. The state's recommending a 12 months served, 28 days credit for time served, 14 days. That's June 20th to June 24th, 2024, and then August 21st, 2024 to today, balance probated, anti-theft course, and no further contact with any of the agents of JHS Enterprises LLC. I'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and ID for purposes of the plea. And if there's anyone on the line that's an agent of JHS Enterprises, the court could sound for them. Thank you.
All right, do you so stipulate, Ms. Kim?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
All right, are there any members, any alleged victims in this case who wish to make a statement? Okay. All right, sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
All right, thank you. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury by taking a plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
And you further understand that by pleading guilty, it may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment, probation, immigration, or other things we might not be able to anticipate?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you also understand the requirements again that you have a course to take and that you should not have additional time to serve at the Fulton County Jail. However, you cannot have contact with any of the members of that agency. You understand that?
Yeah, one moment. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
All right. As to the charge of theft by conversion, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea, and I will waive 2 months of fees for him to take the course. Following that, it can go non-reporting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Murphy, you're back. Do you have an announcement?
I'm sorry, Judge. I keep putting him in the breakout room. I'm not sure if it's something going on his end, so I closed it out and tried to add him again. Mr. Murphy, are you seeing the prompt?
I had and I hit it and it didn't bring me in. So if they can try it again, I'll try to hit it again and see if it'll.
I did. You and South Annex should have a new one when I closed out the rooms. I'll close out this one again and try it again if it doesn't work.
Thanks, Judge.
And Your Honor, for the record, for Mr. Smith, position number 34 will be Nalprost.
All right, thank you. All right, is there another position we can go to?
I apologize one more time. Mr. Murphy, South Annex is in the breakout room. Do you see it now?
No, now, okay, now it just popped up. Okay, let's see if it'll come up and give it to me. No, it needs to try. I don't. It flashed up and then it went out, Judge.
That's okay. Let's keep trying. If you look at the bottom, does it show you where you have breakout rooms open that you can join yourself?
No. Not yet.
Is there another, while Mr. Murphy is working on that, can we go to another position at courtroom two, or no?
Do we have anybody else here? No. I think we're done with everybody in court too, Judge.
So we have to go to the floors, okay.
Judge, I've got something with Judge Edline. If I can just jump out and I'll come back.
That's fine, Mr. Murphy. I hope we can figure out the breakout.
Mr. Murphy, are you able to call the South Annex? Because it keeps showing that you're added. I'm not sure what's going on. Are you able
Yeah,
to contact them or?
We could call them right now if they want
Is
to give me
there
a
a
number.
number? Is there a number at South Annex Mr. Murphy can call?
Yes, Your Honor. Ready?
Yeah.
404
Okay.
613
Okay.
7122.
I'm sorry, the last two digits.
7122.
Copy. Thanks.
Mr. iPhone, can you sit up, please?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Good morning, y'all. What's going
All right, I guess we're having fun on this calendar today. All right, who do we have at ACDC?
This is gonna be Miss Stinson, position number 35.
Okay, and all defendants at South Annex, please pay attention. I'm sorry, the ACDC, please pay attention. I'm gonna explain your rights to you. You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. You also have a right to counsel. And as you can see, I'm conducting this hearing over the internet. It's being live streamed and recorded. When I ask if you understand your rights, that's what I am referring to. Ms. Stinson, good morning. Your case is 24 CR 005768G, and what you're charged with disorderly conduct and simple battery. Do you understand your rights today? All right. What is the announcement, Mr. Ty? You're muted.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
She's pleading not guilty, and I'm going to make a bond argument.
Okay. And you'll file her waiver of arraignment?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Desiano, please proceed. What is current bond?
It's a $1,500 surety bond, Your Honor, and it was set by you.
Oh, okay. What is, do you have the defendant's history?
I do, Your Honor. She has 2 prior convictions for battery on an officer out of Florida. It says officer/firefighter/EMT out of Florida. And she also has a prior conviction for simple battery from 2023. This is an incident that happened on July 31st of 2024 at Grady Hospital. Security reported to police that a nurse by the name of Sakara Jones had been attacked by a patient. The victim explained that she was trying to take the defendant's vitals and administer medication. The defendant struck her in the face. The defendant told the officers that she thought the nurse was trying to poison her and was acting in self-defense. Your Honor, the state would ask that the bond remain as set, given her prior history. And I was given this morning a victim impact statement from Ms. Jones, which based on what I'm about to read, Your Honor, I believe the state needs to amend some of the charges. But she says, and I also believe she's on the Zoom, Judge, she said that she was working the morning shift on July 31st. The defendant was a patient. She said that leading up to the attack, the defendant was receiving medication. She had asked someone to assist her standing nearby as a safety precaution while she provided an injection because she anticipated that this patient may resist. She stated that she was able to administer the medication, stood there, allowed her to administer it, explained to her what she was being given. As she went to turn to walk away, the defendant punched her with a closed fist in the head and then attacked her in her face with her nails. The management had to escort her downstairs to be seen immediately. She had several open wounds and scratches that were actively bleeding. After being seen by the staff, she spoke with the police officer and asked to press charges. Once she completed all the documentation and went home, she had to take a few days off work given her injuries. She's also been in therapy now, healing emotionally and mentally and physically from her traumas. She believes that the therapy was necessary. This was a very negative experience for her. And she is under the opinion that this would happen again based on her experience in the medical field. And she would like Ms. Stinson to receive maximum jail time. And Your Honor, again, the state would ask that the bond remain as previously set. Thank you.
Okay.
And if you could sound for Ms. Jones.
Did I order, was there a MH or BH order as part, what were the special conditions?
One moment, Your Honor.
I don't remember, in 15, I remember the case, but I don't remember if I did anything additional. In the meantime, while you're looking that up, Ms. Jones, if you'd like to make a statement, please unmute your screen and raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge under the penalty of perjury?
Yeah.
All right. What would you like? You put your hand down. What would you like to tell me?
Pretty much, she summed it up well with my VIS statement. I've never been in a situation like this before with a patient attacking me. So as far as Ms. Stinson, her history, I don't want her to be able to plea out of the situation and take it lightly.
All right, thank you. I appreciate you coming to court. Can we, Mr. Ty and Ms. Desiano, I need a breakout for a second. Are you in courtroom 2 with, is there any defendants in courtroom 2?
No.
And Ms. Falk can come too. Can we go into a breakout, please? Put me, Ms. Falk, Ms. Desiano, in courtroom 2 in the breakout.
Mr. Murphy, you want to try to do South Annex again, or did you speak with them already?
You know what? I called those numbers. If they can just call me, because I'm getting it that the number can't be completed. I took
can
down
try
the
to
number.
let's try to break out one more time, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
All right. Is courtroom 2 back?
Shut up. Yes.
All right, bond will remain, oh, is ACDC, something's happening? Is everything okay at ACDC? Oh, everything okay? You're muted. We can't hear you. You're muted.
Francois,
There's a situation. All right, bond for Mrs. Stinson will remain as set. She'll be reset jail jury. All right, I don't know what's happening at ACDC. Okay, I don't know. Meanwhile, there's no other positions we can take and nobody at medical. Okay.
It's already time, sir. It's true. So, I mean, it shouldn't be anybody.
All right, we'll be on a brief hold until ACDC returns. All right, Mr. Murphy,
Yes, Judge.
you're back. Were you able to speak with your client?
I did, Judge, and we would like to enter a plea.
Okay, is your client on the line? I don't see South Annex now.
I think we've made tremendous progress, though, Judge. You got us in, and I did have a discussion with him. So as soon as he gets on, we can dispose of it, I believe.
Okay, so we'll probably be on a brief hold until South Annex is able to return, Mr. Murphy, okay?
Yes, Judge, that's fine.
Thank you. Who is that jail court iPhone? It's muted. All right, I can't hear. Who is this at jail court's iPhone?
Oh, I'm sorry, this is position number 6, Mr. Crenshaw.
Okay, Mr. Crenshaw, you are here for case number 24 CR 005936Y, 2 counts of theft by shoplifting. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, who represents this defendant? Is there anyone at courtroom 2?
This is PD Atai's client, Your Honor.
Mr. Ty, are you still there? It's muted too, by the way. And the announcement I see is negotiated plea. Is that still correct, Mr. Ty?
Your Honor, who is this?
This is Mr. Crenshaw, position 6, 2 counts theft by shoplifting.
Yes, Your Honor, this is, I didn't bring that with me. Yes, it is a negotiation.
Okay. All right, Ms. Falk, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened on January 3rd, 2024 at about 4:00 p.m. at the Dillards at 7000 North Point Circle. Macy's is where the incident happened. The defendant entered that store and took a number of clothing items, including hoodies, joggers, socks, shorts, and boxers. The total amount of items stolen was $250.44, and he concealed the items in a Bon Mar bag. The state's recommendation is 12 months served, 286 days, credit for time served 143 days. That is from April 9th of 2024 until today. Balance probated. Stay away from the Macy's located at 7000 North Point Circle in Alpharetta. 40 hours of community service and an anti-theft course. Count 2 will merge with count 1. I would like to put on the record that this case was a transfer from the Superior Court, and that is what accounts for the amount of jail time that this defendant has served. We would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of this plea. That's all for the state.
You so stipulate, Mr. Ty?
Yes, we stipulate.
All right, please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge, Mr. Crenshaw?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Anyone force you to take a plea today?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No.
And by taking a plea, you understand you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. And you're satisfied with Mr. Ty's representation?
What is the represent? What is
You're
it again?
satisfied. You're satisfied with your attorney?
Yes.
All right. As to the counts of theft by shoplifting, how do you plead, Mr. Crenshaw?
Not guilty.
Is this a not guilty or a guilty plea? Are you taking a plea today?
Guilty.
Are you sure you wish to take a plea?
Yes.
All right. And you understand the requirements of the plea, that you're going to have to complete community service, take a class, and stay away from Macy's? You understand all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I accept your guilty plea. Is there anything additional, Ms. Falk or Mr. Ty?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing additional.
All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Crenshaw. That concludes your case, okay?
Can I ask you a question? I'm going to the next county, correct?
I
Yes,
don't know the answer. Oh, Mr. Tynes knows the answer. Go ahead.
yes. I see that there is a hold for Morrow.
Okay, so I'm done here, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care.
All right, you too.
All right, is everything okay at ACDC?
Hey, good morning, Judge. Yeah, everything is okay now. We did have a situation, Judge, with Miss Stinson. She was very combative.
Okay, understood.
I
Her
was-
bond is gonna remain as set. I know you didn't hear that. We didn't modify her bond, and she should have social worker coming to see her at some point soon.
Okay, so is she gonna be, so you said her bond is modified, or is she gonna be a
No, her bond is the same. She's going to the jail jury calendar.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Next, Judge, we have sitting in front of you is gonna be position 17 and 18, Ms. Lewis.
All right. Good morning, Ms. Lewis. Your case is 24 CR 007813E. In that case, you're charged with trespass and loitering. And then your other case is a simple FTA. Do you understand your rights this morning? All right. I don't have, what is my announcement for this, Mr. Ty?
This is a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Okay, half of my paper didn't print, so apologies there. Ms. Falk, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened November 14th, 2022 at 3326 Delmar Lane Northwest. The defendant entered the residence of Corby Cobb at that location by entering the property and refusing to come out of the location when the police came to the door. The homeowner stated that there is not supposed to be anyone in that residence. It was a vacant property. The state's recommendation on this case is on count 1, 12 months probation, served 22 days, credit for time served 11 days. That's going to be from November 14th to November 15th of 2022 and August 21st, 2024 until today. Balance suspended. Stay away from 3326 Delmar Lane Northwest in Atlanta. No further contact with Corby Cobb. Count 2, the loitering and prowling will merge with count 1. We did make contact with Mr. Cobb. He is in agreement with the plea offer and stated he will not be on Zoom today, but we would like to sound for him out of an abundance of caution. And we would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of this plea. That's all for the state.
All right, is Corby Cobb present? All right, do you so stipulate, Mr. Ty?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Lewis, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge? All right. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange?
No.
And you understand you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury? Is that a yes?
Yes.
And you understand the requirements that you can't have any contact with Mr. Cobb and you need to stay away from that location. But otherwise, the time you've served should close your case. You understand that?
Yes.
And you further understand that taking a guilty plea can affect other aspects of your life, such as employment, immigration, or other things your attorney or I may not be able to anticipate?
Yes.
All right, as to the charges previously listed, Ms. Lewis, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea at this time. And for clarity's sake, Ms. Falk, position 18 will be null pros?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, best of luck to you, Ms. Lewis. That closes your case at this time. Take care.
Judge, I just want to give a quick announcement for Mr. Valadrez, number 3. We do need a Spanish interpreter.
Okay. We were supposed to have one, I believe.
This year.
Yes, Your Honor. This is the case that you reset on
Set from
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Obtain.
Yes. So hopefully Miss Chancey remembers and is coming. All right, who do we have next?
I believe that she said it's Ms. Bashir, position 3 and 4.
Yes, 3 and 4, Bashir.
All right, Ms. Bashir, your case is 22 CR 5461J. You're charged with DUI, less safe, driving while license suspended, and open container. And the other case is an FTA. Do you understand your rights today?
Yes.
All right. I have that this is a negotiated plea. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor, this is
Okay.
this is a not guilty and with a bond argument for the bond on the failure to appear, which is what is holding her.
Okay. So she's made bond on the original charge. What is the current FTA bond?
It's $1,000, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. And when did she fail to appear? Was it a recent? What's her history, Ms. Falk? You have it?
Yes. Oh.
So
So
sorry, I
yes,
was gonna say the failure to appear was from January 2023.
that is correct. January 24th, 2023 in Judge Besson's courtroom.
Okay.
So the defendant's history, Your Honor, is I'm seeing, let's see, 3 cycles, 2018 simple battery against a person who's 65 years or older and an aggravated assault, 2014 conviction for giving false name and theft by shoplifting, and a dismissed 2006 prostitution charge. We have, let's see, the FTA from April 24th of 2023. I am not seeing, and it looks like that was a $1,000 surety bond. I don't see the state would like to hear the argument for the reasons that that bond should change, being that she failed to appear for a court date a year ago.
All right. And did you see other FTAs in her history, Ms. Falk? That was
she does have a judicial hold on that aggravated assault case from 2018 that I stated in our in the recitation of her history. It looks like that was a FTA because she okay, it looks like she was accepted into pretrial service, but there was no actual conclusion of that case since 2019. So that is still an open case, but that is the only FTA. Well, that really isn't an FTA, but it was the only thing that I saw in her history.
All right, Mr. Ty.
So, Your Honor, she doesn't have any FTAs. Your Honor, she has moved. I don't know if she updated her address with the court, but I will update it with the clerk. She was diagnosed in June of 2023 with stage 4 lung cancer. She has obviously had other things going on in her life. She does not have money to pay $1,000 surety bond. If Your Honor can't give her a signature bond on that, I would ask at the most for $100 good bond. She says that the bonding companies are asking for $500 on this $1,000 bond. She did finish chemotherapy, but she is still receiving treatment on a bi-weekly basis at a cancer center, and she's not getting those medications while she's in jail. She is on disability.
I'll convert it, Mr. Ty, to a $50 cash bond, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, Ms. Bashir. All right. Is there any, who do we have next?
Positions 1 and 2. This is the real Aaron.
Yeah, Darren.
All right, sir, your case is 23 CR 002016A. You are charged with DUI less safe, driving while license suspended, driving on a canceled registration, no insurance. And your second case is 24 CR 002094A, and you're charged with simple battery. I won't guess. What is the announcement for this case?
This is a not guilty, Your Honor.
Okay. And do you wish to be heard on bond?
He's not on bond. He's not held on this case.
Okay, understood. All right, so your case is going to be reset for a trial calendar to give your attorneys more time to work and develop the file. Does not necessarily mean that you'll have a trial, but it just means there'll be more work done between now and that court date. Your case will be reset. All right? All right, best of luck to you, sir. All right, who do we have next?
We have position number 5, Mr. Battle.
All right, Mr. Battle, good afternoon. Your case is 24CR005735G. You're charged with simple battery family violence, simple assault family violence with the offense date of March the 7th of 2024. You have an absolute right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney, and I'm conducting this hearing by video. Do you understand all of that today? All right, what is the announcement for this case?
This is a not guilty, Your Honor, with a bond argument.
All right. Ms. Falk, do you have that history?
Yes, Your Honor, and the bond is currently set on this case at $2,500, and there are 2 FTAs that the defendant is currently being held on. One on 23 CP 223948, which is a felony case where he has no bond, and a second for 23 SC 191708, where he is also being held on an FTA with no bond. So repeated FTAs. As for his history, he is a, multi-state offender with charges out of Virginia. He has a previous arrest in 2010 for identity theft out of Virginia. He also has charges out of, he also has multiple charges out of Georgia, and in total, he has 28 cycles. This is his most recent arrest. He has arrests previously for possession and use of drug-related objects, possession of firearm by a convicted felon, and sale and distribution of dangerous drugs. That was in 2022. That is one of the felony cases he currently has an FTA on. Terroristic threats and acts arrest in 2020, that is currently not on docket. Probation violations in 2018. Driving without a valid license in 2018. Their probation violation in 2016, a probation violation in 2014, another probation violation in 2011, failure to appear in the arrest for that was 2011, and that was for a family violence battery. That was 09CR350395. So based on the fact that the defendant is, quite frankly, just a failure on a lot of the IALA factors, risk of reoffense, likelihood to appear for court, risk of danger to the victim, being that he does previous family violence battery, we would object to a reduction in this bond. And I can give Your Honor the brief facts of this case if you would like to hear it as well.
No, well, yeah, very briefly.
Okay. So this incident happened at the home of 261 Walnut Street Northwest. The woman who was injured, Messiah Shepard, stated that the defendant had spit on her. Another victim at the scene, Edwina Shepard, stated the defendant had swung a brick at her face, but missed. And that was the basis for the offenses. He also stated he hopes they all die in the ensuing argument. We would like to sound for Miss Edwina Shepard and Miss Messiah Shepard at this time.
Are either of those parties on the Zoom? All right, hearing none. Ms. Atai?
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't hear a lot of violent history, and that I don't know what was the disposition of that case in 2011, although that was 13 years ago. So I don't think he has a lot of violent history. I don't think he has any violent convictions. The bond is set at $2,500. He cannot afford a $2,500 bond. He is 51 years old. He does share 5 children with the complaining witness. They don't live together. He does have a good address in Atlanta. He is in school right now to get his trucking license. He is held on no bond for other failure to appear. So and his hearing for that is September 5th. I'm just asking for a signature bond through pretrial services. The offer from the state is time served with an FVIP. So I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services, even if it's at level 3, even if it's requiring an FVIP through pretrial services.
All right, bond is gonna remain as set for Mr. Battle. All
Thank
right, all right, best of luck to you, sir. All right, who do we have next?
Number 10, Ms.
Oh, and interpretation is on the line. Are we able to do, I know Mr. Ty needs to interview that gentleman. Is there any way for us to do that? Or do you have to go get him?
No,
Ransome?
he's here. We just have to do a breakout.
Okay. We won't be able to do anything else because Mr. Ty is at courtroom 2. Mr. Ty, do you have your laptop by any chance?
Yeah, I'll get on another device to interview.
Okay, so we'll do that. Mr. Ty is gonna go get on another device. We'll put ACDC in a breakout with Mr. Ty and Miss Chancey, and we'll try to keep going.
Well, there's nobody in here, and I have all the ladies at ACDC.
But what I was gonna say is is the gentleman at medical, could we do that case while you do the interview? So we can let.
This is Curtis Smith, 26 and 27. I don't know who his attorney is.
That's not me,
Oh,
sorry.
So Mr.
And I have an announcement, position number 39 through 41. He's gonna be a medical reset. Got issues going on.
39, Mr. Wesley.
39 through 41, Mr. Michael Wesley, he's a medical reset.
Okay. Okay. So, Mr. Smith has a private attorney, is what you're saying to me?
No.
He said he doesn't have one.
Okay, now then who represents Mr. Smith?
Is it Curtis Smith? He's my client, Your Honor.
Okay, so can we do that position? And we'll briefly get, when Mr. Ty logs on, we'll put her in that breakout. Okay, Mr. Smith, good morning. Your case is 24 CR 005744Y. You're charged with 2 counts of abandonment in this case, and then 24 CR 005745Y, same charges. Do you understand your rights this morning?
Yes.
All right. What is
He's also position number 28 and position 31.
Okay,
And
28.
32.
Oh, you have a lot. Okay, so 32 is an FTA. 31, you're 24 CR 005746Y. You're charged with fleeing and eluding, obstruction, and driving while your license was suspended. And you also have, when did I skip? 28?
Yes.
I skipped 28. 22 CR 007790Y. In that case, you're charged with abandonment. You understand your rights, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and can we put Mr. Ty, see Mr. Ty is on, can we put her in with ACDC and Miss Chancey? Miss Chancey, will you raise your right hand? Please, do you swear and affirm that today you will make an accurate translation from English to Spanish, Spanish to English to the best of your skills, knowledge, and abilities?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Thank you. All right, what is the announcement for Mr. Smith?
Actually, because of another case that he has, preliminary hearing on September 6th, he has to stay in the jail. And these cases are not the ones that is holding him. So he is pleading not guilty.
All right, so sir, we're gonna put your case down for a trial calendar. That will give your attorney some additional time to do work, and the matter will be reset, okay?
Okay. Is it bond on those charges already, right?
That's what your attorney is indicating, yes. All right, is there anything additional that we need to do on Mr. Smith's cases? All right, if hearing none, Mr. Smith, best of luck to you, all right?
Is it bond on that already? What is it?
I will call you and explain to you all the details.
All right, your attorney will give you some information, all right, Mr. Smith? All right.
Your Honor, on the medical reset cases, what date are we resetting those to?
I didn't get to ask what exactly was going on.
Okay.
So,
Judge,
do we
Judge,
know
those
what was going on?
Judge, I'm not sure, but those are Mr. Ty's cases, so if we could wait until she returns, she might be able to weigh in. She'd know a little more about the case.
Okay,
Understood.
that's what we'll do. And I didn't ask why, so I don't want to reset it too soon and it's something that, if they went to Grady or something like that. Okay, South Annex is back. Can we do Mr. Murphy's case? Mr. Murphy, you still with us?
Is it your case? Oh, then
No,
I'll see.
Dennis Murphy.
I don't see Mr. Murphy. Okay. That would have been two. Who is at jail court iPhone?
We have position number 37, Mr. Benson.
All right, and who represents this defendant before we begin?
That is my client, Your Honor.
Oh, good. This is Latavia Vinson.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Your case is 22 CR 0070992A. You're charged with obstruction, no license, no insurance, and fleeing and eluding. Do you understand your rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Kim, what is the announcement?
He is actually pleading not guilty. There's another case that is holding him, and he is not guilty.
All right. Do you wish to be heard on bond or no?
He already has a signature on bond through jail for these charges.
Okay. So, Miss, all right. So your case is going to be reset. This particular charge is not necessarily holding you in, as you have a bond already on these cases. We're going to put your case down for a trial calendar, and that'll give your attorney some more time to work on this. Okay.
Is that there's no way I can be released on medical leave or anything? I have a job I have to get to.
I'll give you a call. I'll visit you and explain to you more details. We talked about this yesterday. Remember, you have another case that has no bond.
You have a different case holding you in. That's not this case today. Okay.
But you told me yesterday it was time served. You showed me that it was time served on this case if I wanted to plead or something like that.
But apparently you have a different case that would you still would not be able to get out of the Fulton County Jail, sir. So, your attorney will give you a call, okay? And we're gonna reset this case for trial. All right, best of luck to you. Is Mr. Murphy back? No. Oh, there he is. Mr. Murphy, you're back. Your client is here. Mr. Murphy, are you present?
I thought that before I got here today.
I was about to leave and just go to the office, but I don't know.
This hall is still the judge.
Is there anybody at medical or no? Okay, I see interpretation is back. Oh, before we go to medical, give me one moment. Is Mr. Ty back?
He is not here. I can't.
Yeah, we got one on judge.
No, Mr. Ty? Is Mrs. Ty back at courtroom 2?
No, she's not here at courtroom 2. I think she's walking from courtroom 1, maybe.
All right, who is at medical then? Medical's muted.
Number
Okay.
38, Webb.
Who represents Webb? You do, Ms. Kim? Okay, we'll do this case. All right, Mr. Webb, your case is 24 CR 0055618. You're charged with criminal trespass. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the announcement, Ms. Kim?
It's plead guilty, negotiated plea, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Desiano, please proceed.
Your Honor, this defendant is accused of trespassing at the Chevron located at 556 Northside Drive after previously receiving a trespass warning the day before this incident on August 7th. So this incident happened on August 8th. The state's recommending 12 months probation, serve 44 days, credit for time served 22 days. That's August 8th, 2024 to today. Balance suspended. Stay away from the Chevron located at 556 Northside Drive. And the state would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea, nothing further.
You so stipulate, Ms. Kim?
Yes, you do.
All right, sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
You can put your hand down. Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange?
No, ma'am.
And you understand taking a guilty plea, you're giving up your right to trial by judge or jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand further that taking a guilty plea may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment, probation, immigration, or other matters that your attorney or I may not be able to anticipate?
Yes, ma'am.
As to the charge of criminal trespass, Mr. Webb, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All right. I accept your guilty plea. Do not go back to that Chevron gas station. They do not want you there. All right?
Ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Best of luck to you, Mr. Webb.
Your Honor, Ms. Huda Hatay is here at the court.
Okay. All right, Mr. Ty, what is your announcement for the interpretation case?
Your Honor, I emailed Ms. Falk, but it may be a negotiated plea.
Miss Pedia Ty, I just read the facts of the case. We are not amending that from a loitering and prowling.
Okay, well, it will still be a negotiated plea.
All right, sir, your case is 22 CR 4571E.
Señor, su número de caso es 22CR004571E.
In this case, you're charged with possession and use of drug-related objects and loitering and prowling.
En este caso, usted tiene un cargo por tenencia y uso de objetos relacionados con las drogas y por merodear y vagabundear.
You have a right to remain silent and you have a right to an attorney.
Usted tiene derecho a guardar silencio y a tener un abogado.
You also have a, and as you can see, I'm conducting this hearing by video. Do you understand your rights and how I'm conducting the hearing today?
Usted, como ve, yo estoy conduciendo esta audiencia a través de video audiencia. ¿Usted entiende cuáles son sus derechos y cómo estoy conduciendo esta audiencia?
Do you understand your rights?
¿Usted lo entiende? Yes.
All right. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. The facts of this case are that this defendant on July 15th, 2022 was seen on a Ring doorbell camera by Jennifer Dawsey looking inside of her apartment window at 2 a.m. and banging on the windows as well.
One moment, please. Los hechos de este caso es que este acusado el día 15 de julio del 2022 fue visto por Jennifer Dosey a través de la cámara del timbre merodeando a las 2 de la mañana y también golpeando en la ventana.
The defendant was also seen by other residents of the neighborhood looking into other individuals' windows at the same apartment.
El acusado fue también visto por otros vecinos merodeando y mirando por las ventanas de otros residentes del lugar.
Officers made contact with him at 340 South Atlanta Street, the Atlanta Street Baptist Church.
Y también los oficiales lo vieron o se contactaron en el 340 de Atlanta Street, que es la iglesia de Atlanta Bautista.
The defendant claimed he was waiting for his nephew to pick him up, but did not know where his nephew lived, and none of the numbers he had for him seemed to work.
El acusado dijo que estaba esperando para que el sobrino lo viniese a buscar. No sabía a dónde vivía el sobrino y nada de la información podía concordar con la situación.
When he was placed under arrest, a glass smoking device was found on his person.
Cuando se lo arrestó, se encontró un aparato para fumar y por eso, o sea, en su persona.
On count one, the state's recommendation is time served, 182 days, credit for time served, 91 days.
I'm sorry, time served 100 and how many days?
82 days, credit for time served, 91 days.
La recomendación de sentencia es tiempo servido con 82 días a servir 91.
On count two, the recommendation is 12 months, serve 182 days, credit for time served 91 days.
También para el cargo 2 son tiempo servido, 2 meses, tiempo servido por 182 días y crédito por 91 días también.
Balance suspended, stay away from 411 Chattahoochee Circle.
Es el resto de la sentencia queda suspendida con el requisito de que se mantenga alejado, distanciado del 411 Chattahoochee Circle.
No further contact with Jennifer Dosey.
Y no tener contacto alguno más con Jennifer Dosey.
We would like to sound for Ms. Dosey at this time.
Quisiéramos llamar a Jennifer Dosey en este momento.
And would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of this plea.
Y queremos también acordar la jurisdicción, los fundamentos de hecho y la identificación con el propósito de llevar a cabo esta declaración.
The state is entering a null pros on position 4, the FTA.
Y también la Fiscalía no procesará el cargo de la posición 4, que es un cargo por falta de comparecencia.
All right. Mr. Ty, was that your understanding and you so stipulate to the 3 elements?
Yes, Your Honor.
La defensa estipula o acuerda con las jurisdicción, el fundamento de hecho y la identificación. Sí, su señoría.
All right. Sir, I'm going to ask you some questions to make sure you're taking this plea voluntarily. Please raise your right hand.
Señor, voy a hacerle unas preguntas para confirmar de que usted está haciendo esta declaración libre y voluntariamente. Por favor, levante su mano derecha.
Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Usted jura que la declaración que dará hoy es cierta dentro de sus mejores posibilidades.
Sí.
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down.
Puede bajar su mano.
All right, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
¿Está bajo la influencia de alguna droga o alcohol en este momento?
No.
No.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
¿Hay alguien que lo haya forzado para tomar declaración hoy?
No.
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
¿Hay alguien que le haya ofrecido algo para hacer lo que usted tome esta declaración?
No.
No.
And you understand that by taking a guilty plea, you're giving up your right to trial by a judge or jury?
Usted entiende que al declararse culpable, usted renuncia a su derecho de ir a juicio y defenderse ante un juez o un jurado, ¿entiende?
Sí.
Yes.
And are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
¿Está usted satisfecho con la representación de su abogada?
Exactamente.
Exactly.
All right, and you understand that taking a guilty plea can affect other aspects of your life, such as probation, immigration, or employment?
¿Usted entiende que tomar una declaración podría afectarle otros aspectos de su vida, como probatoria, inmigración y empleo? ¿Entiende?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, as to the charges I previously listed, sir, how do you plead?
Ok, después de haberle listado los cargos, ¿cómo se declara ante ellos?
Culpable.
Guilty.
I accept your guilty plea. Stay away from the address on Chattahoochee Circle, and please have no contact with Miss Dawsey.
Acepto su declaración de culpabilidad y por favor manténgase alejado del domicilio del 411 Chattahoochee Circle y también de Jennifer Dawsey.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. As to, is there anything additional, Mr. Ty or Miss Falk?
¿Hay,
Nothing.
¿Hay algo adicional? No, nada, nada.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
Mucha suerte, señor. Esto concluye su caso.
Gracias.
Thank you.
All right. Before Miss Chancey goes, would you like to sound? I guess not everybody here is going to be able to hear you, but please sound, Miss Chancey.
Yes, Your Honor. ¿Hay alguien que necesita interpretación en español para hablar con la señora jueza hoy? Por favor, prenda su cámara y avísenos.
Hearing none, thank you, Miss Chancey. Take care. Have a good afternoon.
You're welcome. Have a good day, Your Honor.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, who do we have next at ACDC?
Presley, number 22.
All right. All right, good afternoon. Your case is 24 CR 005750C. You're charged with battery, family violence, and cruelty in the third. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and the announcement for this, Mrs. Ty?
Your Honor, this is a not guilty plea with a bond argument.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. This offense happened back on, let's see, on January 16th of 2024. The defendant's bond, I will have to look and see what the defendant's bond is currently set at. But the facts of this case are that on that date, the defendant attacked Deborah Grant at the location of 6355 Oakley Road in Union City. It caused facial injuries to Miss Grant, and he also bit her on the right ear, and it struck her repeatedly in the face. This also occurred in the presence of their child, AP, who saw and heard the act. The history of the defendant is, I believe, yes, that this is the defendant's first arrest. And the bond for this defendant is currently set at 2,500 on the simple assault, family violence, 1,000 on the cruelty to children in the third degree, and 1,000 on the family violence battery. So for a total of $4,500. It appears that this case may have also come from the felony division. It looks like there was a PI number previously attached to this case. And this case was it looks to be a transfer from the felony division on actually, it is not. The defendant actually has a separate case under 24 PI 005908, and that is for criminal damage property in the second degree and simple assault family violence. The defendant currently has, it looks like on the first appearance order of bond for that case that was issued on August 15th, 2024, has a $2,500 split bond with the victim being Ashley Presley in that case. Well, no, the order actually says stay away from victim Ashley Presley, but that is the defendant. And it also says stay away from 3511 Elsenhauer Circle. That is a different address than our address. I'm going to try to see if I can find the warrant on this to see if the victim is the same in this case.
To clarify though, Ms. Falk, there's 2 charges in this case or there's 3? Because I see 2
So-
on the calendar.
Right. In our case, there are 2 charges, and then she has 2 separate charges in another case in the felony division.
Okay.
So she's got 2 cases basically running at the same time. And so for
Understood.
that reason, the state would ask that the bond remain as set. Based on the IALA factors of risk of reoffense, I believe that she is a risk of reoffense in this car. In this incident, it looks like, I'm reading the warrant at the same time. It looks like the other incident in the felony division happened with her father, whose name is actually also Ashley Presley, where she left visible dents and scratches in the hood of his car, as well as punching him in the face with a closed fist. So there's obviously some violent issues here. We feel like she is a risk of reoffense, being that these 2 incidents happened close in time, and we ask that the bond remain as set. We would like to sound for our victim in this case, Miss Deborah Grant.
All right, is Ms. Grant present?
Your Honor, the warrant also lists her mother, Patricia McDowell, who is here. And Your Honor, this incident on January 16th, 2024, Deborah Grant was arrested, and also her mother, Ms. McDowell, was also arrested. This is my client's very first arrest. She's 22 years old. She does have a 7-year-old child. They're all 3 charged with cruelty to children, although they all say that there was no child present. And the name in the warrant is not a person that any of them knows, or a child that any of them knows.
Okay.
Her very first arrest, I don't think that the risk of reoffense is high. It's her very first arrest. She does have a child. She still has a $2,500 surety bond in the simple assault, family violence.
Okay. What I'll do is I will convert this to a signature bond through pretrial at level 3, and I want her to start FVIP. Well, I'm sorry. The other case that's running concurrent, what were the charges in that felony case?
That was criminal damage to property in the second degree, as well as simple battery family violence.
Okay, so I am gonna order that she start. Let me think if I'm gonna do anger management.
Your Honor, based on the fact that both of these cases involve family members, I think FBI.
I'm inclined to do that as well. Okay, I'm gonna give her a signature bond through pretrial at level 3 as to these 2 cases, and she's start FVIP and have no contact with Ms. Grant. All right. All right. Is there anything additional, Ms. Falk?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Best of luck to you, Ms. Presley. Who do we have next?
Number 42, Brianna White.
All right, I'm not gonna sound the chart. What is the announcement for this case? Do we have an announcement?
Sorry, Your Honor, she's gonna be in custody until September 19th. She has a hearing, so I think that, well, and I didn't email Ms. Falk, oh, it was Ms. Desiano's case. But I would just like to ask that, the balance of probation be suspended and.
Wait, so before we do that, so it's a non-negotiated plea is what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. White, your case is 24 CR 004, I'm sorry, 5418E. You're charged with simple battery against an officer, obstruction, criminal trespass, and one additional charge. Do you understand your rights today?
I'm asking, yeah, but can you repeat that, docket number?
It's 24 CR 00541E. All right, so we're taking, go ahead. 18E. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, so this is a non-negotiated plea, Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Desiano, can I have the history?
Yes, Your Honor. This defendant has 1 cycle out of Tennessee, an arrest for prostitution in 2012, 2 cycles out of Michigan from 2009 for arson, 23 cycles in Georgia. There is a 2022 probation revocation conviction, a 2022 drug-related objects conviction, a 2022 shoplifting conviction, a 2021 entering auto conviction, and a 2017 criminal trespass conviction from the last 10 years. Additionally, it appears that she has an open felony FTA in 24 PI 003631. And she's also been arrested for possession of cocaine and escape in 2024 that was dismissed. In 2023, she was arrested for aggravated assault, battery, and willful obstruction. That was dismissed. In 2022, she's got a simple assault, and simple battery against law enforcement arrest that the disposition is not listed. A 2022 willful obstruction and criminal trespass arrest where the disposition is not listed. A 2021 terroristic threats arrest that was dismissed, and a 2018 theft by taking arrest. Your Honor, this incident happened on July 30th of 2024. The officers responded to a criminal trespass call at 3567 MLK Junior Drive. It's my understanding that this is a business park where there's several restaurants and things of that nature. When they arrived on scene, they observed the defendant walking in the parking lot half naked, only wearing a pair of shorts. When they tried to make contact with her, she fled through the parking lot that had several vehicles driving around, and then through traffic on Bakers Ferry Road. The officers eventually caught her and noted that she was acting erratically, sweating profusely, and foaming at the mouth. And at that point, she was immediately taken to the hospital. But while she was there, she refused medical treatment and began removing wires from the EKG machine. She was making threats to the medical staff, removing her clothes, throwing papers and books. The officer went to adjust the handcuff on her left hand, and she bit him. And it was later discovered that this defendant had a criminal trespass warning from that MLK Junior Drive business park location, and she was charged with that. The state is requesting for count 1, the criminal trespass, 12 months probation, served 62 days, credit for time served 31 days. That's from July 30th, 2024 to today. Balance probated, stay away from the 3567 MLK Junior Drive address, and that would be run concurrent with count 4. On count 2, the public indecency, 12 months probation, served 62 days, credit for time served 31 days, concurrent with count 4. Count 3 will merge with count 4, and then count 4 is 12 months probation, served 62 days, credit for time served balance probated, MHET or BHET. Your Honor, the state is requesting that the balance be probated in this case, of course, because the officer was bit in this situation, and given her criminal history of having 26 cycles.
I think having 26 cycles with that many dismissals really shows that she is a victim.
It's one way to look at it. Mr. Ty, your objection to the state's recommendation is just the probation?
Well, yes, Your Honor, the probation, and I also would like to point out that the warrant doesn't state that she was acting erotic. The officer said that she was erratic. The officer said she was acting erotic. I have questions about this, but she does want to plead guilty. She is in custody until her hearing, at least until September 19th when she has a hearing. I just want to ask that any MHET that is, or BHET should be done while she's in custody, and then the balance of probation suspended. She has been residentially challenged for many years. And she does, when she's released, she does want to live in Nashville with her family.
All right. If she takes the plea today, I would require that she reports to probation, Mr. Ty, but I would let her report virtually or by phone. She would have to report the entire time, but I would waive 3 months of fees. Does she want to take this plea?
Well, Your Honor, she has been in custody for 31 days, and so I think she's entitled to have all probation fees waived.
I said I will waive 3 months. So does she want to do this?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Miss What? Go ahead.
And can the probation go non-reporting once she has the MHET?
No, I'm going to require she report the full 12 months, especially if she's going to be reporting by Zoom or by phone.
And I know that you said that you would waive 3 months of the fees, but when she's been in custody for 31 days, anytime within the past 12 months, the statute states that probation fees shall be waived.
Let me reread. Because that was not my reading.
I'm looking
Well,
at
because being in custody for over 30 days establishes a significant financial hardship.
Right, but it doesn't say, where's the shall be waived? It says modify, shall waive, modify. Amen.
Oh.
I'm going to reread this and we'll figure out that waiver of fees, but I will require her to report the whole time. Does she want to take this plea, Mr. Ty? I'm going to take a look at that statute closely in a moment when we take a pause.
Okay, yes, she does.
All right, Ms. White, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange?
No.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. You understand you're giving up your right to trial by judge or jury?
Yes.
And you further understand you're giving up your right to have the state prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yeah.
All right. As to the charges I previously listed, how do you plead?
What's the sentence again?
You're gonna be on probation for 12 months. You're gonna report the entire time. Your attorney and I are gonna further discuss the fees. You are gonna undergo an evaluation, and you're gonna stay away from that address on MLK.
Do I have to do it here?
I'm sorry?
Do I have to do that evaluation thing in here?
I mean, we're gonna do our best to do that, but we can't promise that it'll get done before you're released. Do you still want to move forward taking the plea today?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
All right. As to the charges listed, how do you plead?
I guess I'm guilty.
Okay, not guess, it has to be. you
I'm
plead-
guilty. Okay, I'm guilty.
All right. All right, I've read the statute and I believe that I'm not required to waive all of them. I will waive 6 months of fees for this defendant, but she's gonna be required to report the entire time. All right, she can report via Zoom or phone. All right, best of luck to you, ma'am. Who do we have next?
And Your Honor, for the record, if you could sound for Miss Denise Lawson, that's the officer that was bit.
Is Ms. Lawson present, wishes to make a brief statement? All right, who do we have next?
I'm sorry, Judge, what is Ms. White's next court date?
I'm not aware of that. Mr. Ty, what is it?
Well, she has another hearing on the FTA scheduled for September 19th.
And that's Judge Brooks' courtroom, right?
I don't see it here. Let me see. Actually, I might have it. Oh, it doesn't. I think the judge starts with a C. It's cut off. I don't have the rest.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Next, Judge, we have number 10, Ms. Doan.
Okay, Ms. Down, your case is 24 CR 005758. Why you're charged with criminal trespass and simple battery against an officer. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, and the announcement for this is negotiated plea?
No, Your Honor, this is a not guilty plea.
Okay. And are you asking to be heard on bond today?
Yes, I am.
All right, Ms. Falls?
Yes, Your Honor. On Dominique Doan, the bond is currently set at $1,000 surety bond. That bond was given, it looks like by Your Honor, but I just want to double check on that. The incident that occurred in this case was on August 15th of 2024 at 22 14th Street Northwest. Officers were called out to Hugh Midtown by the property manager, Chastity, in regards to Miss Doan, who had been evicted from the property by the Fulton County Marshals. The defendant on August 11th, 2024, 4 days previously, had been trespassed from the property and then returned to the property. Officers saw her sitting in the lobby. She was asking to be let up in the unit she had been evicted from. The officers then told her she was not to be on the property, as they had previously told her before. They placed her in custody, and when they tried to pull her out of the vehicle, she kicked the officer in the left knee. At that time, I just want to look to see if that bond was in fact issued by Your Honor. It was actually a $2,000 split bond, $1,000 SOB through the jail on count 1, which was the criminal trespass. On count 2, it was a $1,000 surety bond with a stay away from that location, no further violent contact with Officer Young. That was signed by Your Honor. The defendant's history is 3 cycles, it looks like, from including a driving without a valid license, financial transaction card fraud, and theft by shoplifting in 2024, as well as a failure to appear February 28th of 2024. So the defendant does have the IALA factor of being a risk of not appearing for court. And I would argue that Your Honor may have given that $1,000 surety bond due to the fact that violence was in fact done to an officer when he was kicked in the knee. I don't believe there is anything that would change the IALA factors that were in place at the time when Your Honor met with this defendant 14 days previously. I know the defense likes to say, well, she's been in jail for 14 days, but that's not actually part of the IALA factors. So we do ask that the bond remain as set. That's all for the state.
Sorry. You just said the bond because there was violence done to an officer.
One second. Who was the officer? I need to sound for that officer.
That's Officer Young, Your Honor.
Is Officer Young present and wishes to make a statement? Okay, Mr. Ty, now go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. She has 0 convictions. I guess this is her 3rd cycle with 0 convictions. So she has very limited criminal history. Of course, as you just heard, she was evicted from her home, so possibly she has FTAs because she has had to move around. She does have a 7-year-old son who's staying with her dad and her mother right now. She has moved. She has a new address. She went back to this apartment complex after she was evicted because she left her purse behind. And she denies the allegations as far as kicking the police officer. She has absolutely no arrest. She has no history at all, but she has no arrest for anything violent, except by shoplifting, credit card, but I don't think that she is a danger to the community. She has no convictions. If she has FTA, she says that it's on traffic tickets. And she never received any notice. So she does work full-time. And she has a 7-year-old son that she cares for full-time and that she's financially responsible for. So I would ask for the $1,000 bond to be lowered to a nominal bond or a signature bond, even if it's through pretrial services, which she is recommended for. Again, the $1,000 bond, the bonding companies aren't working with them. You know, it's actually $500. So if Your Honor would lower it to at the most $100 cash bond, that would.
All right, I will modify it. The 1,000 signature through the jail will remain. She'll get $100 cash bond on count 2 with the same conditions that already existed. All right, best of luck to you, Ms. Stone. What do we have next?
I'm sorry, next judge is gonna be number 1, Miss Najee. She's on the probation revocation calendar.
Oh, hold on. I don't think I saw that.
I didn't see it either, Your Honor, and I didn't get a recommendation, I think, from 2017.
Oh, I think I do see it, Miss Najee. Okay, do you need a moment to speak with her, Ms. Atai?
What it was, Your Honor, this is Ms. Allen on behalf of Probation Department. This actually was Mr. McLean's case. It was a reset, and I think if I'm not mistaken, it was a reset back from June of 27.
Okay.
I haven't spoken with her.
And Mr. McLean's not here, so is there a number that Ms. we can only do a breakout, correct?
Yes, we can do a breakout, Judge.
Can we come back to this one then? Can we do the rest and then let Ms. Atai go to that breakout?
That's actually everybody that I have here at ACDC.
Oh, that's everybody. Okay. We're gonna let ACDC and courtroom 2 go into a breakout then.
Ms. Allen, I'm sorry, could you tell me what is the recommendation from probation?
I'm going to, because of this defendant has been in custody since June the 3rd, I will be asking for her case to be time served.
Time served. So do you still need to speak to her, Ms. Atai?
Well, I wouldn't be able to answer if anything else is holding her. I hope something, I mean, not that I hope, but I don't know if she's been reset from June 27th and has been sitting there waiting for only this. I hope not.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, she had something else. I'm pulling it up now. I think that was the reason why Mr. McLean asked for that reset.
Can you provide me with the defendant's last name?
And Ms. Allen and Ms. Najee, please raise your right hand. Place you both under oath. Do you swear and affirm testimony you give today for the limited purposes of this hearing will be the truth to the best of your knowledge under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, so we'll see if it's time served. I'm sure Mr. Ty will not object to that.
And according to the booking report, she is being held for other charges besides this one.
Okay. All right, so Ms. Allen, your recommendation is that time served closes her case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm assuming the defense has no objection to that?
I don't.
All right. All right, with that, your case is closed based upon the time you've served in the Fulton County Jail, Ms. Najee. All right?
Thank you.
All right,
Who would I need to send this paperwork to for today?
It is Ms. Champion. Please send it to Ms. Champion.
Okay, then. Thank you. And that concludes my business. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Take care. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Is ACDC complete?
Yeah, we're completed. I'm just, Miss Hoda, one of your clients wants to ask you a question.
Okay, so we're still holding on position 7, 8, 9, which is the same person who's pleading not guilty. Position 11, 14, 15, 16. Do we have any other announcements regarding resets for any of the positions we're holding on?
Your Honor, 7, 8, 9, that was a.
Not guilty, I have that one. He's not gonna be brought, correct?
Exactly, that's waiver of appearance and arraignment. I heard you mention 14, that was transferred to the DA. 15 is also waiver of appearance. And same with 16. And
Okay.
24.
Okay, so what about 23? Charles Robinson?
That's, yeah.
Yes.
What's wrong with 23?
That is my case, Your Honor. He pleads guilty.
Okay, so we're still holding on that one. And is that the only, Mr. Murphy's case? South Annex and Mr. Murphy? Not here. Okay. 39, we're still holding. Is there an announcement for 39, 40, 41?
That is not guilty, Your Honor. Michael Wesley, that's my
Okay.
client, and he's pleading not guilty.
All right, so don't need to be brought. What about 43?
43, he is not guilty. He's pleading not guilty as
So
well.
we're only holding on one position? Is that correct?
23, Mr. Robinson, and then are we still holding on Dennis Murphy's case?
Yes, I guess we're holding on Mr. Murphy. And I know we have a 11 o'clock DV bench warrant case set that we can.
I'm
excuse me,
sorry,
Your Honor.
Judge. For Ms. Hoda, one of her clients does have a question for position number 10, Ms. Doan.
Okay, yes. I mean, is it
Okay.
about?
So it's $100 cash bond and then the surety bond is.
Wait, we don't want to put that on the record. Can they go in a breakout real quick? Can we put,
She just call over here?
or yeah, can she call or
Yeah,
something? We
we
just,
call courtroom 2.
I have to see if the phone is working here in this pod. What is your, I'll call.
okay.
We're completed here at ACDC, Judge. Thank you.
All right, take care. Thank you, Francois. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Okay. So I guess we're waiting for the phone to be walked to the floor for those other 2 positions. And then we'll start DV reset in 6 minutes and then competency. Are we able to start competency now by any chance?
Is Mr. Bartels there?
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Bartels is here.
Yeah, I'm ready to start if anybody else.
I can't hear you. You said you're ready to start?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready to start getting my materials together.
Okay, we'll do that in a second. Is anyone here already for the DV reset at 11 calendar? Sir, who are you that says Zoom user?
My name is Orlando Morrow.
Okay, you're on he's DV reset. So we can do that one in a moment. Who
Okay.
represents Mr. Morrow?
I'm by myself.
Does
I don't have
anyone
no public defender or no lawyer.
No. Well, Your Honor, I would have, wait, this is, oh no, I don't have, what's he here for?
There's the 11 o'clock DV bench warrant calendar.
I only saw one person on that calendar, Sellers.
No, there's 3. There's Morrows, Langford, and someone named Jones.
Go in there with your mom. Go back.
So there's 3 positions on that DV
Sean.
bench warrant calendar.
Sean.
Wait,
Get him.
okay, well, I mean, I'll need to speak with them. I only saw one position. I don't know what.
There's 3, I promise. I wouldn't give me, I wouldn't.
don't need to.
I wouldn't give us extra work that we didn't ask for if I didn't have to. Okay, so Mr. Morrow, can you put a phone number into the chat where Mr. Ty can call you at least to interview you so she can assist you with this hearing today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So we have technically 4 minutes before we start that calendar, so I'm gonna give the parties the 4 minutes that they would be entitled to before we begin that. Hopefully someone, himself and next, will come back.
I
If
just
not,
did it.
all right, if not, we'll have to reset Mr. Murphy's position. Okay, we'll be on a 4-minute hold.
His last name is Morrow.
Mhm.
I'll talk to you. Oh, Mr. Morrow. That's not very much.
If you're gonna meet me, I'm gonna have to have you to bring it downstairs so I can see.
Your Honor, we can handle, Mr. Morrow's case whenever one.
Actually, I was gonna ask PD White, are you handling his case?
Yes.
I was gonna send you something in the chat if you mind checking that.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Can't see that. What's wrong? Oh. What are you talking about? Talking about the termination
Yes,
after VIP?
We're talking. Okay, so Mr. Morrow's case does involve a family violence charge.
I understand. He's here on a DV bench warrant.
Right, and I'm offering a chance to resolve that case so that he can move on and will not have to come back to court, even if the judge determines in his favor the bench warrant could be lifted. So I'm just asking you to communicate the offer to your client.
I will communicate the offer. I'm going to probably recommend that he doesn't accept it. But, okay.
That's fine, but please communicate the offer to your client.
And also at courtroom 2, I see another party who is presumably here for that DV bench warrant calendar. If someone could speak to him as well, I believe his name is on that calendar as well. And Mr. Jones, you are in court. We need you to sit somewhere and take the lollipop out of your mouth, okay? Thank you. And Ms. Falk, if there is an offer for Mr. Jones as well, will you communicate that? Who's going to be assisting Mr. Jones this morning / afternoon?
Your Honor, I am, I'm representing Mr. Jones. And he's on, yes, there he is. Okay, he tells me that he did update his address with the court on June 3rd.
Oh no, before we go through that, Mr. Time, I asked Ms. Falk just to send, you're gonna be one representing and assisting him today? And you've
Yes.
already spoke to him. Ms. Falk,
Yes.
is there an offer you could send Mr. Ty just to communicate? Even if he doesn't accept it, will you please tell him what it is, Mr. Ty, once Ms. Falk shares it with you? Thank you. Okay, I see Attorney Lauren Brown just joined us. Who do you represent?
Good morning. I'm here for Brandy Langford. I was just hired this morning. I'm working on my entry as we speak. He's here for the inquiry calendar. I'm hoping we can address his bench warrant.
I don't see that person. Let me see. Hold on.
It's position 2 on the bench warrant calendar.
On the bench warrant, okay. And Ms. Falk, if there is I know you're just entering your appearance, but if there's an offer, if you communicate that as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
And is your client present?
He's logging on right this minute, Judge.
Okay.
He
So
he just got the link and sent it to me. As I said, he just hired me this morning.
All right, Ms. Falk is going to send you some information in a moment, and then we'll get started with that calendar. All right, are we ready?
Judge, we're sort of ready for Mr. Morrow. Mr. Morrow would like to accept the state's offer. I told him that I don't know enough about his case. And I recommended that he not accept the plea offer at this time. I cannot, with good conscience, enter the plea on his behalf, but he's gonna go pro se if he wants to enter the plea.
Okay, so Mr. Morrow, if you you understand the public defender's office is, Mr. Morrow, are you still here?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here,
Okay.
but I can't hear you that good. That's why I got my phone to my
Okay,
ear.
we kind of have to still be able to see you. Okay, so Mr. White has informed me that they convey the offer from the state and you wish to take it and move forward with a plea.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now the issue, Ms. Falk, is going to be getting him to sign the appropriate documents. Mr. Morrow, do you have a way to print and sign the information if Ms. Falk is able to send it over to you? Because if you aren't able to sign the paperwork, it's as if you were not here this morning to take this plea.
I can yeah, you can send it. I can print it out.
You'll have to stay here in court until you get it finished, though, okay?
Okay.
It should not take me long to send over those documents, Mr. Morrow. So just give me a moment to go ahead and fill that out.
Ms. Falk is going to work on that and we'll come back to your case in a moment. Ms. Latai, are we ready to go forward on Mr. Jones?
Yes,
Did
Your
you
Honor.
communicate any offers to him?
Yes, I did, and he is not going to plead guilty.
Okay.
And I am moving to have the bench warrant lifted.
Okay, we'll talk about that shortly. And Ms. Falk, I know I'm asking you to do a lot of things. Were you able to send anything over to Attorney Brown?
I did send the offer over to Attorney Brown, Your Honor.
All right, so we're gonna go forward. Let's begin the DV reset calendar. This is the DV reset calendar in the State Court of Fulton County, Georgia. It's a little bit after 11, but we're moving forward. We are holding on position 3, which is going to be a pro se plea. And now we're going to take up the case of Mr. Christopher Jones, 20 CR 001260C, in which he's charged with battery, family violence, and cruelty back in December of 2019, and he failed to appear, and there's currently a bench warrant in place. Ms. Falk, what is the state's position regarding that bench warrant?
So, Your Honor, the state's position is this defendant has had multiple bites at this apple. I'm seeing a failure to appear January 12th of 2021 at a plea and arraignment calendar before Judge Dixon, a failure to appear on March 31st, 2023 at 9 a.m. before Judge Law, a failure to appear August 4th of 2023 before the Orca judge, a failure to appear on April 5th, 2024 before Judge Law in courtroom G33 on April 5th, 2024. And then this case was finally set for the calendar today. So it appears that this defendant has, well, a history of failing to appear for court. It looks like he did update his address January 12th of 2024. And the bench warrant was set aside on that date. And then he failed to appear April 5th of 2024. So I'm not sure what the excuses now, but I will say he has had several bites at this apple, and this case is not getting any younger, and it's mainly, well, it's primarily solely due to the defendant's continual failure to appear for court on his case. So we would ask the bench warrant remain as set.
Ms. Champion, do you see any return of services on the docket?
1 second, Your Honor, let me check.
All right, and Mr. Taiwan, Ms. Champion is checking. Please proceed with your arguments.
Your Honor, I don't have I can have him email me the documentation, but he says that he did update his address, and he has it stamped and signed where he came to the court and updated his address, and the notice, he didn't receive any notice. It wasn't sent to his address, the one that he updated the court with. And I mean, I see an FTA, but it says outage, so I don't know what happened there, and I haven't had time to look into it. I would ask if Your Honor is not inclined to lift the bench warrant today, since my fault, I didn't have time to look into this. I would ask to reset him to September 3rd.
We don't have that.
Okay, hold
Your Honor, I
on.
don't show any return notice at this time.
Okay. All right, I am not gonna lift the bench warrant at this juncture. I'm gonna give the defendant 7 days to surrender himself. And that'll give him time to sort out the necessary bond procedures in this particular case. Resetting him to September the 3rd would not, I don't think that that would serve anything in light of me not lifting that bench warrant. I don't think I'm gonna do that in addition. Okay? So I'm not gonna lift it at this time. If you,
Can he have a signature bond on the bench warrant?
Then you can share your information to logging into the account, okay?
I can't hear. Sorry, Ms. Falk, what were you saying?
Your Honor, the state would object to that. Again, this is
Yeah, I
the
don't think so
third
either.
time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give him a signature bond to the bench warrant. He's gonna have to come. He can, if you want more time to figure that out, Mr. Ty, I will give him more time to surrender himself to get the bond situated, but I think 7 days should be sufficient. I'm not gonna.
I'm asking for more time to figure out what's going on, and why he hasn't received notice. I haven't had.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna do it at this point. All right, so I'm not gonna lift the bench warrant. If you need to speak with him further to give him further advice, I'll allow you to do that. Okay?
Okay, I will do that.
All right. Let's move to Mr. Brown's case. Mr. Brown, we're here for, let's see. Miss Brandy Langford, 22 CR 006959F, in which defendant is charged with battery family violence in February of 2022. Ms.
Excuse me,
Falk,
Judge, can I speak, please?
I think you should speak to Mr. Ty first, okay? And then I will
I have proper documents of the date that I came down and got the letter signed on June the 23rd, 2023, right here in my hand.
Okay, speak to Mr. Ty, and if she needs to tell me something else, I'll let her speak back to me, okay? I don't want you to say anything on the record, and no one can read that, Mr. Jones, not one person, okay? Mr. Brown, I'm sorry, Ms. Falk, please proceed.
Your Honor, since this is a, currently the defendant failed to appear on, let's see, the bond was ordered forfeited on July 8th of 2024. And then this hearing was scheduled, the rule NISI was issued July 11th of 2024, and the hearing was scheduled for today. So it looks like there was an FTA on, let's see, on Mr. Judge Richardson's calendar on July 8th, 2024, which led to this bench warrant. And we would ask that the bench warrant remain as set. The defendant was, it appears, released on a $3,000 surety bond on this case. And currently, as far as the history is concerned, this defendant has, let's see, 10 cycles on their history, including this case. And I do not see a return of service on this case. So the state is interested in what the explanation is for failing to appear in court on that date.
Okay, and Mr. Brown, does your client reject the offer presented by the state to resolve this matter?
The judge, yes, only by means of me having no opportunity to review discovery or do any investigation whatsoever. I appreciate, the offer, but I can't in good faith recommend having been.
Okay. Ms. Champion, will you look and tell me if you see any return of service?
There's no notice been returned at this time, Your Honor.
No notice been returned. All right, Mr. Brown, your client failed to appear back in July. I believe this is the first FTA. Does your client have an explanation for their failure to appear at that time?
Yes, Judge, he did move. He became aware of the FTA when the bondsman called him after the fact. So the bondsman, obviously we have a couple safeguards notice, but bondsmen have a responsibility to their clients. Some bondsmen that more seriously than others. He was not given any information about the court date, did not have counsel at the time that would have also received notice that could have secured his presence. Was made the FTA once the bondsman became aware. Of course, there became vulnerable to forfeiture. At that point, he was contacted, proactively go to the courthouse, update his address, which put him onto the calendar today. He's duly hired counsel. I've represented Mr. Langford before on one of those cycles that Ms. Falk brought up. We, of course, never missed court, and we saw that case to conclusion. I just ask that you recall the bench warrant, give me a little bit of time. I'm filing my discovery request and entry as we speak, and I could get up to speed if you could just give us a couple weeks, Judge.
All
And
right,
Your Honor,
go ahead, Ms.
if
Falk.
I may just briefly make a rebuttal, Your Honor signed this bond originally on October 17th of 2022. And I know that it's made clear at first appearance to these defendants that if they do move or change their address, that they need to update it. This defendant is not unfamiliar with the criminal justice system, having 7 cycles, and knows his responsibility to update his address.
All right, it's the first bench warrant. I'll set this one. I mean, it's first FTA, so I will set this one aside. Make sure your client keeps his address current with the court. He will not get a second opportunity. This will be it. Miss the next one, and I don't think the result will be the same. All right.
Absolutely appreciated, Judge, and noted.
All right. With that, I believe you continue to again make sure you don't do this again. Keep your address current, and now that you have an attorney entered and associated with the case, I expect you both to continue to work towards a resolution of this matter. Ms. Champion, you coming on? There's a question.
Yes, Attorney Brown will have to submit the set aside to me.
I will send it. Could you put information in the chat?
Yes, I'll put it in the chat for you.
Thank you so much. I'll get that over to you in just a few minutes.
All right, you're free to go, Mr. Brown. Take care, as is your client.
Thank you.
All right, is Ms. Atai back? Does she wanna?
She's still on the phone.
That's okay. That's fine. All right, now we're gonna go back to, I know Ms. Falk, do you need another moment for the pro se plea?
I do, Your Honor. I have been handling the other matters, so I have not
I
had an
know,
opportunity
I know, I asked you to do
Scary
it.
man.
yet.
No, not yet, hold on one second, Mr. Morrow.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna send you some documents. Can you send put an email address in the chat? You're
Yes.
gonna have to get the paperwork filled out in its entirety and received by Ms. Falk so that we can take your plea today. Were there any announcement on those positions that were on the floor by any chance? I think it was only 2. Are we gonna get to those? Or do we have to reset them? Okay, I'm assuming we'll be on hold.
No, I did not yell.
Mr. Morrow, I have sent over the plea paperwork. You should receive it shortly. Please read through it and fill out and check the appropriate boxes and then email it back to me. You should be able to email it back to the email address I sent it to you from.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
So don't hang up.
No, because you have to fill out the paperwork and then you have to go through
Okay.
the judge so that she can go ahead and get you sentenced and then you're free to go. But do not hang up.
All right.
And Ms. Falk, please let me know when you have it back.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, in the meantime, would you want to address the 11 o'clock mental health calendar?
I was gonna do that. I was just waiting to hear if Ms. Atai had anything additional from our DV, and then we'll go straight into that.
And did we have an announcement on that medical reset?
We didn't, we need to figure that out. The position that's medical reset, Mr. Wesley, is anybody at courtroom 2?
Your Honor, Ms. Kim announced that that was going to be not guilty and waiver of arraignment after they announced the reset.
Oh, okay. So reset for the notice jail jury then. That's all.
Thank you.
23.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Atai?
Yes, Your Honor. He says that he never received notice. I see several times that he's come in to update his address, but it's always the same address. He is staying on top of the case and trying to receive notice. And when he doesn't hear anything, he comes in and then hears, on 2 previous occasions that, oh, you missed your court date. But you see that he is coming in on his own to figure out, but just not at the right time, to figure out what's going on and why he's not receiving mail. He's tried to give them his email address. He did get the notice for this Zoom hearing today. And as you can see, he's here. He's just not receiving notice. And when I look at in Odyssey at notifications, I think this shows every time that a notice for court is printed. And I don't see, the FTA here is from April 5th, 2024. I don't see anything printed, which means maybe nothing was sent out. The only thing printed that I see in 2024 was the printed notice for today's hearing. I don't see anything printed since August 2023. And you can see the other bench warrants were set aside because he comes in and tells them, my address hasn't changed. I haven't received anything. And I believe that the case manager sees that he's not getting notice.
I think that is purely speculation on the part of the PD's office. The fact that he has now had this 3rd FTA, Your Honor, this keeps kicking the can down the road. And quite frankly, he's had a bench warrant previously lifted. I've only shown that he updated his address 1 time. I may be incorrect about that, and let me go back and look. But the fact is, this case isn't getting any younger as he continues to play games with the court and continues to bench.
Not playing games with the court, Your Honor. He's not playing games with the court. He says, he tells me he's had other cases. He's never had an FTA on any of those cases. It's this one that he's having problems with. And he has updated his address. It's the same address every time, but he's desperate to figure out a way to get notice of these the hearings.
And again, Your Honor, I'm only showing 1 address update, and that was August 14th.
Looking myself, yeah, I don't see a whole bunch of address updates.
It's not
either.
Multiple address updates.
And I'm not seeing anything coming.
June 2023.
That wasn't an address update. It was just a bond forfeiture set aside.
No.
Okay, I'm not setting it aside. It'll stay as I recommended, and I'm not giving him that signature bond. He has 7 days. All right. All right, let's begin the competency calendar that was set to begin at 11. What about, are we waiting on any other positions on the floor? I don't think so. Okay, if I could be placed in a breakout, please.
Yeah, Your Honor, just to let you know, there is another client here in the courtroom. So I'll go into breakout room with my laptop.
Who's in the courtroom, Mr. Bartels?
There's another client, I believe somebody who's here for SEO.
Oh, already? Okay, that's fine. Early.
I'll be in breakout room shortly.
Okay. Y'all ready? We're ready.
Okay.
Is there someone from pretrial services on the line?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Tyson, there is a gentleman on our competency calendar, position number 12, who has received a signature bond through pretrial services, and we've been informed that no one has come from pretrial to see him. We're gonna reset his case 1 week, but please let someone know that he needs to be interviewed so that he can begin on pretrial.
You said it's position number 12. Do you know what level he should be, that he was going to be released
I
to?
have no idea. Mr. Bartels, are you still here? Does anybody know what that order would have been? I didn't set that. It was set previously, and apparently nobody ever came to talk to him.
Okay.
We'll figure that out eventually.
Okay. It may be because he has a $20,000 bond for ag battery that's holding him
true.
too.
That's true. So
So
maybe
that's probably why he would have never, been released unless he made bond on that. So no
On
one
the
would have
other
actually
one.
talked to. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so that might be why, Mr. Bartels.
Yep. Yep. He got that 20,000 on that case.
That he has not made.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that, Mr. Bartels? Apparently, because no one's come to talk to him because he didn't make that felony bond.
Okay, so they didn't, yeah, I guess, I guess they might have thought they didn't see the point in that, but something could happen with that felony case anytime soon.
And he
Okay, so
he has a hold for Cobb County also.
I don't think that's a hold. I mean, I could be, mistaken, but I think that meant that he was in Cobb County.
Okay, hold yeah, let me.
Yeah, I
He was
think he
in
was
Cobb County.
loaned out. He was loaned out to Cobb County and being held there at some point.
Right, on the
I didn't. I was just on his jail sheet, and I don't see a.
Okay, yes, it's off. It fell off.
right.
Yeah, I don't know why it's showing, but it fell off. It is.
Well, we're asking Ms. Tyson, even though he still has that felony hold, that someone at least go talk to him so that if something does change, this will at least be in place.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Hey, thank you, Ms. Tyson.
We appreciate you. Okay, are we complete, SAP? Do we have
No.
announcements? We're not?
I can only think about one thing.
Oh, Mr. Murphy, you're back. We can't seem to get you and your client here at the same time. Whenever I have you, I don't have South Annex. Is South Annex here? South Annex was here a long time without you, and now
Judge.
you're here without South Annex.
Judge, I'm sorry, I could not get any Zoom reception. I'm at the courthouse now on Dontavia Stone.
Okay. Is it possible at courtroom 2 for somebody to call South Annex to see if we can get him back on the line? Briefly, he was here for a second. And the only reason I'm asking is it's time served, correct, Mr. Murphy? Is the
That's
offer?
correct.
Yeah, so if we could
Pender
get
and
him.
Nolo consent plea.
I'll try to call him and try to get him back on, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I know everybody's done.
You're okay. Not a problem.
That's all right, Judge. I kept bouncing in and out. I could not get reception to save my life.
That's okay. You tried, Mr. Murphy. We appreciate that. Okay, can we intermittently review the calendar to see what we're waiting on, Ms. Strong? I'm sorry, Ms. Champion. Ms. Champion, I'm so sorry.
No
Long day.
problem. Position number 1 is a not guilty reset further notice. Position number 2, same announcement. Position number 3, not guilty reset further notice. Position number 4 is reset further notice with a $50 cash bond. Position number 5 is a not guilty reset further notice. Position number 6 was a plea. Position number 7, 8, 9 are not guilty reset further notice. Position number 10 is not guilty reset further notice. Position number 11 is a no pros. Position number 12 was a plea. Position number 13 was a plea. Position number 14 I have to be transferred. Is the transfer order signed, Ms. Falk, or?
I just received a response from the DA's office that they will not be accepting that case for transfer. I just received it in the last 15 minutes. So we will have to reset that
To next week?
Correct.
Okay. So that's gonna be reset to the SAP on 9/5. Position number 15 is a not guilty, reset further notice. Position number 16 is not guilty, reset further notice. Position number 17 was a plea. Position number 18 was a no pros. Position number 19 was a plea. Position number 20 is a not guilty, reset further notice. Position 21 is not guilty, reset further notice. Position number 22 is not guilty, reset further notice. Position 23, I don't have anything for. Oh, we
Are we
hold
still holding on position 23?
Charles Robinson.
What was the announcement for Mr. Robinson? Anyone? Ms. Kim?
Initially this morning it was undecided, but before the competency calendar began, I believe she said he's pleading guilty.
That's right. She did say negotiate, please. Are we gonna be able to get Mr. Robinson today? It's muted.
Your Honor, there are no attorneys in here. It's just Mr. Paul Bartel.
Oh,
wow. They all left.
Did they?
The state is asking for Mr. Robinson to serve 60 days, and the plea is that he has credit for time served for 16 days. So he still has
time. We can
more
reset. Okay,
days.
we'll reset next week.
Hey, Mr. Robinson will be reset to the SAP 9/5. Position 24 and 25, defendant was released, reset further notice. Position 26 was a not guilty, reset further notice. Position 27, not guilty, reset further notice. Position 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32, not guilty, reset further notice. Position 33 was a plea. Position 34 was a no pros. Position 35, not guilty, reset further notice. Position 36 is Mr. Murphy's case. Position 37 is not guilty, reset further notice. Position 38 was a plea. Position 39, not guilty, reset further notice. Position 40, 41, not guilty, reset further notice. Position 42 was a plea. Position 43, not guilty, reset further notice. Add on position number 1 and 2, not guilty, reset further notice. Add on 3 was a plea. Add on 4 was a no pros. And the DV bench warrant calendar, position number 1, the set aside was denied. Defendant must surrender within 7 days. Position number 2, the bench warrant set aside was granted. And position number 3, we're holding.
Your Honor, I did, the documents are about to be sent via DocuSign to Mr. Morrow. It seems he does not have, hold on, actually, did he
He's
run off?
not here. Mr. Morrow?
He's still on. He's the Zoom user.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So he does not appear to have the ability to print and fill out the paperwork. So we are having it sent to him via DocuSign.
There's something wrong with my phone. I'm trying to fill the paperwork out right now.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm doing it right now as we speak.
Okay, that's fine. And we're holding on Mr. Murphy's.
Judge, and if they're able to produce him, I went over the form with him, and I've got the forms with me here at the courthouse. I'll bring them over to Michael Jordan.
That's
Right
fine.
up.
Thank you. If they're
Man,
not,
what the fuck?
I hope we're able to produce him.
Has anyone called over to the South Annex?
I called over to South Annex, Ms. Falk.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Are they
Yep.
coming?
I told them to log on. They're trying to get Mr. Stone from the pod so they can log back
Okay.
on.
Thank
All right.
you.
You're welcome.
Man, this is good. Man, I hate going through this stuff, man. Excuse me, ma'am. Is ain't no way can I come down here and come down there and fill the paperwork out?
We can, so let me see. The problem is we're in court via Zoom. I have an attorney sending you the paperwork via an app called DocuSign, which should allow you to sign the paperwork versus the version that I sent you, since you said you can't print out, well, since you said you could print out the paperwork, but it appears you're having some difficulty with that. So you should be getting the paperwork via DocuSign, which will allow you to touch and check off the boxes on the computer.
That's what I've been doing, but it seems like I can't do it.
Are you trying to do it on your phone, or do you have a computer you could use?
I'm doing it on my phone.
Do you have a computer you could use?
No.
Okay. Judge Williams?
I was
we may
thinking.
need some dynamic solutions here, as
No,
you want to say.
That's my favorite word. I don't have a problem with him. Are you doing SEA, Ms. Falk?
No, but I can show up at SAI.
I'm not doing SEA. I was trying to think of a way to do this. The problem, Mr. Morrow, is if you don't do this paperwork, the bench warrant is still going to be in place, and all it's as if you didn't take the plea today. So did you get the new documents Ms. Falk just sent you, and you still can't fill those out with a DocuSign? Is that what happened?
That is correct, according to Mr. Morrow. I do have a dynamic solution.
Okay.
So I can send the paperwork. We can do the plea on the record in court. I can send the paperwork to the clerk's office, and he will have until whatever time you set today to go to the clerk's office and physically sign the paperwork. And if he doesn't come to the clerk's office and physically sign the paperwork, then it will be as though the plea did not occur, and the bench warrant will remain in effect, and he will have 7 days to turn himself in.
Okay, Mr. Morrow, do you have a way to get to the Fulton County
I'm on my way down there right now.
Okay, we're gonna go through all of the plea questions completely on the record. You will have until 4 p.m. Ms. Strong, or Ms. Champion,
Yes,
if he
ma'am.
comes down to where would he need to come down to? J150 to sign?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're gonna go through the questions, and we're gonna make sure you want to take this plea today, Mr. Morrow. You'll have until 4 o'clock p.m. to get down to the courthouse to sign this paperwork, okay?
Okay, I'm on my way now.
All right, hold on, wait, let's go through the questions first, and then you can be on your way. All right, Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. So Mr. Morrow, if you could just hold tight for a second. I just need to go over these with you. Are you pleading guilty today to the charge of, let's see, I believe it's simple battery, family violence, and theft by taking?
Yes.
Are you now under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol?
No, ma'am.
Has your lawyer you don't have an attorney currently, so that's not applicable. Do you understand that by entering a guilty plea today, you are giving up the presumption of innocence, a speedy trial, the right to see, hear, and cross-examine all witnesses called to testify against you, the right to compel evidence in your favor, the right to hire an attorney if you cannot afford an attorney, to have a public defender represent you, the right to remain silent, not testify, and the right to have the state prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand that by entering this plea today, you're giving up all of those rights that I've just listed?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that the court may sentence you up to 12 months and a fine of $1,000 fine on this case?
Yes.
Do you understand, has anyone promised you anything to enter a plea of guilty today?
Yes.
Well, I mean, other than the plea recommendation, have there been any kind of promises if you enter a plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what was promised to
I mean,
you?
no, ma'am.
Okay, so I just wanted to clarify. So let me ask that question again. Has anyone promised you anything to plead guilty today?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that the state is recommending a sentence of 12 months probation, family violence intervention program, no further contact with Sierra Telfair, and that you can terminate your probation upon completion of family violence intervention program? Do you understand that that is the offer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand that the court does not have to accept that offer and can impose the maximum sentence, but you would have the right to withdraw your plea?
Okay.
You need to answer yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Has anyone forced or threatened you to enter a plea of guilty?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you are currently on probation, that your probation status could be affected, including probation revoked based on your guilty plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you are not a United States citizen, your immigration status may be affected by a guilty plea?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you offer this guilty plea freely and voluntarily with a full understanding of the charges against you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Your Honor, if you could take it away from there.
All right, I'm gonna ask you some additional questions. I know you answered some of these already, but we're gonna ask you them again just to make sure this is a voluntary plea, okay?
Okay.
All right. First, I want to give you your rights. I think I did already, but let's do it again. This is the DB reset calendar. Hold on. And I see South Annex. Please hold one moment. Don't log off. We're gonna come to you in one moment. Where is the this AP? Hold 1 second. Let's see.
Let me get my charger right quick, okay, ma'am?
Okay, please don't let your phone die. That would just really take us all to another level. All right. Why can't I find? Hold on.
Man, what? Be quiet.
Okay. All right, Mr. Morrow, let's see.
Yes.
Hold on. Okay. No, that's not it either. Come on. Okay. We are now taking your plea in case 21 CR 004695B. You're charged with simple battery family violence, theft by taking with the offense date of July the 29th of 2018. Do you understand you have a right to remain silent and you have a right to an attorney, but you're choosing to move forward and represent yourself today?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that I'm conducting this hearing by video?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Falk, will you very briefly put the facts of the case on the record?
Yes, Your Honor, I can. Just a moment. I apologize. I was just sending the updated paperwork to the clerk's office. So let me just have a moment and I can place the facts on the record.
Okay.
All right, so this incident happened back on, let's see, July 29th, 2018. The defendant punched the mother of his child, Sierra Telfair, several times in the head and face, resulting in visible injuries at their residence at 3753 Stone Road in Atlanta, Georgia. And as for the theft by taking, he took $20 in US currency from her person. That is the facts of the case, and I understand that Your Honor will go back over some of these questions with him.
Okay, sir, do you agree that the state has the proper defendant being you?
This right here is crazy, and this all lies right here.
Okay, so that means we can't take a plea today. If you don't, if you object,
I would take this plea.
No. You have to take it voluntarily. And if you think that the state has the facts wrong, we cannot take a plea in this case. So now we need to be heard on your bench warrant. The attorneys are gone. we're gonna reset his bench warrant case 1 week. Okay, so sir, you're gonna you're gonna get another Zoom link. Is it gonna be the same Zoom link for next week? Do we know? Sir, you're gonna
It
log in.
should be, Your Honor.
All right, you have this same paperwork in your email, sir. Go to the library between now and then and decide whether or not you want to take a plea. You have some more time to speak to an attorney, and you'll be heard on the bench warrant matter next week on
I just really want to get this out the way.
but the problem is you're saying that it's lies and you don't agree with what was said today. In order to take a plea, you have to agree that the state is telling the truth and that you're not objecting to the fact.
Okay, I would tell the truth, but I'm gonna tell the truth, but
No, not you tell the truth. What I'm saying is, in order to take a plea, you have to agree to the facts as just presented by Ms. Falk, and it appears that you don't.
okay.
Okay, so we're
Yes,
gonna
ma'am.
reset you 1 week. The attorney you spoke with today, I suggest you try to get back in touch with them regarding the hearing, and you'll come back on Zoom next Thursday at the same time, okay?
All right.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Morrow, for your patience today. Take care. Have a good day. All right, we are finally ready for your position, Mr. Murphy. This is the case of Mr. Stone, 24 CR 003514F. He's charged with loitering and prowling. Mr. Stone, do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and I'm not sure you heard him. You have a right to remain silent, and you also have a right to an attorney today. Mr. Murphy is here to represent you, and as you can see, I'm conducting this hearing by video. All right, Ms. Desiano, please put the very, very brief facts and give me the state's recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened on June 5th, 2024. This defendant, along with 2 other males, were in a parking garage at the Wesley on the Beltline Apartments at 370 Northside Drive. They were wearing hoodies and gloves and looking around at vehicles. A bystander called police to report suspicious persons. By the time the police arrived, the 3 individuals had left, and the bystander told the officer that they took a left and went that way. The officers were able to detain them, and based on the weather being 71 degrees and the defendants having hoodies and gloves and being seen looking into vehicles, he was charged with loitering. The state's recommendation in this case is 12 months probation, served 28 days, credit for time served 14 days. That's from June 5th to June 11th, 2024, and then August 21st to 2024 to today. Balance suspended. Stay away from the Wesley on the Beltline Apartments at 370 Northside Drive Northwest. And the state would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea. Nothing further.
We do so stipulate, and again, I know when you originally stated that it was a probated case, it's in fact a balance suspended case, and Ms. Falk sent that via email yesterday afternoon.
All right, so you so stipulate. I'm going to ask you some questions, Mr. Stone, to make sure this is a voluntary plea. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Did anyone force you to take a plea?
No, Your Honor.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, Your Honor.
And you understand that taking a guilty plea may affect other aspects of your life, such as employment, probation, or immigration?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand you're giving up your right to trial by judge or by jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand you cannot go back to that location, but otherwise the time you served in the Fulton County Jail should close your case.
Yes, Your Honor.
As to the charge of loitering and prowling, how do you plead, Mr. Stone?
Guilty.
Judge, he'll be tendering a NOLO plea today, Judge.
All right, the state had no objection to a NOLO?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so we're going to accept your NOLO plea at this time, Mr. Stone, all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything additional, Mr. Murphy or Ms. Desiano?
Nothing.
No, we appreciate it, Judge, and I'm going to give this paperwork to Mr. Jordan in about 1 minute. Thank you, Judge.
Wonderful. All right, we are now complete for state all purpose. Thank you all for your patience this morning. Take care. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.